The galactic Unity station hung in space like a glittering jewel, its vast arms stretching out in a delicate symmetry that belied its immense size. Zixnar, the station's senior diplomatic liaison, glided smoothly through the crystalline corridors, leading a group of wide-eyed alien dignitaries on their inaugural tour. As you can see, Zixnar's voice resonated through his translator. The station represents the pinnacle of cooperation between our civilizations. Each section showcases unique architectural elements from member species. The group passed by sweeping arches reminiscent of Arcturian design, juxtaposed with the sharp angles favored by the Rigelians. Beings of various forms and colors moved purposefully through the halls, a living testament to the diversity the station championed. As they entered the bustling central plaza, Grax Lore, a Betelgeusian with iridescent scales, raised one of its eye stalks inquisitively. Esteemed Zixnar, I couldn't help but notice something peculiar during our tour. Zixnar's antennae twitched slightly. Yes, honored Grax Lore. There are signs throughout the station, in various languages. They all seem to state no humans allowed. Is this not at odds with the spirit of unity this station embodies? A ripple of murmured agreement passed through the group. Zixnar's chromatophores flickered briefly, a sign of discomfort not lost on the observant dignitaries. As Zixnar began, his usual fluid movements becoming slightly stilted. That is, a rather sensitive topic. Perhaps we should continue with the tour. The antimatter containment fields are quite fashy. With all due respect, interrupted Tzil, a gaseous entity shimmering within its containment suit, we are here as representatives of our peoples. If there is a species banned from this station of unity, should we not understand why? Zixnar's appendages drooped slightly as he realized he couldn't deflect the question. He glanced around the plaza, noting the curious looks from passing aliens who had overheard the conversation. Very well, he conceded, gesturing towards a quieter alcove off the main concourse. The tale behind the human ban is unique. It speaks to their ingenuity, their ability to solve problems in ways we never imagined, and also to the unforeseen consequences of their solutions. As the group settled into the alcove, Zixnar's posture straightened, taking on the air of a narrator about to recount an important historical event. To understand the ban, you must first understand the incident that led to it. It all began 3 cycles ago when humans were still welcomed on the station as a newly spacefaring species. The dignitaries leaned in, their varied sensory organs focused intently on Zixnar, eager to hear the tale of how humans had managed to get themselves banned from the galaxy's greatest symbol of unity and cooperation. Zixnar's voice took on a somber tone as he continued. Humans were a fascinating addition to our galactic community. Their adaptability and problem-solving skills were unparalleled. They approached challenges with a creativity that often left other species baffled. The diplomat's tendrils waved, creating a holographic image of Earth in the center of the alcove. Their homeworld, as you may know, boasts an incredible diversity of environments. This bred a species capable of thinking outside the box, as they say. Tzil's gaseous form swirled with interest. But surely, creative thinking alone wouldn't warrant a ban. Indeed not, Zixnar agreed. In fact, it was their ingenuity that initially saved us all. The hologram shifted, displaying a schematic of the station. 3 cycles ago, we faced a crisis that threatened the very existence of this station and all aboard it. The schematic zoomed in on the life support systems, flashing red to indicate danger. Our life support systems began to fail, and no one could determine why. The finest minds from 100 worlds worked tirelessly, but the problem defied conventional solutions. As our air slowly turned toxic and our temperature regulation faltered, we faced the very real possibility of evacuation and the end of the galactic unity station. Grax Lore's scales shimmered with concern. How terrifying. What did you do? We turned to the human, Zixnar said, his tone a mix of admiration and trepidation. A team of their engineers had recently arrived for a cultural exchange program. When they heard of our plight, they volunteered immediately. The hologram changed to show a group of humans in spacesuits, tools in hand, floating through the station's maintenance ducts. They worked tirelessly, using methods that seemed unorthodox to our sensibilities. They crawled through conduits, rewired systems, and approached the problem from angles we hadn't considered. After 3 rotations of non-stop work, their team leader emerged from the central hub, covered in lubricant and looking exhausted, but triumphant. Zixnar's chromatophores flickered in what seemed like amusement. She declared that they had not only identified the issue but had already implemented a solution. The dignitaries leaned in, captivated by the tale. Even a few passers-by had stopped to listen, drawn in by Zixnar's storytelling. The station's system stabilized almost immediately. Toxic elements were purged from the air, temperature and gravity regulation returned to normal. It was, by all accounts, a miracle. Zixnar paused, his appendages drooping slightly. And that's when we noticed the smell. Confused murmurs rippled through the audience. Smell? Asked a confused Dill, whose gaseous form lacked olfactory senses. Zixnar nodded gravely. Yes, a smell. You see, in devising their solution, the humans had used some unorthodox materials. Materials that, while effective, had an unexpected and rather potent side effect. The hologram faded, and Zixnar looked around at his rapt audience. But perhaps it's best if I explain the exact nature of their solution and its consequences to fully illustrate why the ban was eventually put in place. Zixnar's antennae twitched as he continued. The human engineers, in their infinite creativity, had concocted a solution using what they called common earth condiments, specifically a combination of something called hot sauce and pickles. A ripple of confusion passed through the alien dignitaries. Graxlor's eye stalks wobbled in bewilderment. Condiments, as in food additives. Precisely, Zixnar confirmed. Apparently, the acidic nature of these substances, combined with their unique chemical properties, created a compound that effectively cleaned and recalibrated our life support systems. It was ingenious, really. The humans explained that the vinegar in pickles and the capsaicin in hot sauce, when properly synthesized and applied, could break down the microscopic biocontaminants that had been clogging our filtration systems. Dill's gaseous form swirled rapidly, a sign of agitation. But surely using food to fix a space station is unorthodox. Unorthodox indeed, Zixnar agreed, but effective. The station's systems were running at 110% efficiency after their intervention. However, he paused dramatically. The smell. The hologram reactivated, showing the station's interior. A wavy green miasma seemed to permeate every corner. The entire station began to reek of what the humans described as spicy dill. At first, we thought it would dissipate quickly. It did not. Zixnar's chromatophores darkened. The odor persisted for months. It permeated every deck, every room, every crevice. Some species found it mildly unpleasant. Others were physically sickened by it. The Garzillians, with their hypersensitive olfactory glands, had to be evacuated entirely. We tried everything to remove the smell. We ran the air scrubbers at maximum power. We introduced counteragents. We even attempted to mask it with other scents. Nothing worked. Zixnar's appendages drooped in remembered frustration. Diplomatic incidents began to occur. The Veluxians accused the Trenu of biological warfare. The Hive Concordat threatened to withdraw from the Galactic Alliance, claiming the smell interfered with their pheromone-based communication. The dignitaries listened in horrified fascination as Zixnar concluded, "In the end, we had no choice. To preserve galactic peace and the functionality of the station, we had to ban humans from the premises. Their ingenuity had saved us, yes, but the unintended consequences of their solution proved too disruptive." Graxlor's scales shimmered thoughtfully. "But surely, after all this time, the smell has dissipated." Zixnar's chromatophores flickered in what might have been embarrassment. Mostly. On humid days, you can still catch a whiff in some of the older sections. The lingering scent serves as a constant reminder of both human brilliance and the importance of, shall we say, thoroughly vetting unconventional solutions. He straightened up, adopting a more formal posture. "And so, esteemed dignitaries, that is why you see the no humans allowed signs. We respect their problem-solving abilities, but we've learned that sometimes the cure can be worse than the disease. We maintain diplomatic relations with Earth, of course, but all meetings are now held on neutral ground." As the group began to disperse, murmuring among themselves about this bizarre tale, Tzil approached Zexnar privately. "Tell me," the gaseous being whispered, "what exactly does this spicy dill smell like? My species lacks olfactory senses, and I admit to some curiosity." Zexnar glanced around furtively, then leaned in close to Tzil's containment suit. "There's an old maintenance shaft in section 47B where the smell never quite faded, if you're truly curious. But remember, you didn't hear it from me." As Tzil drifted away, Zexnar watched the gathered aliens, still buzzing with discussion about the human ban. He allowed himself a small gesture of amusement. Yes, the humans had caused quite a stir, but he couldn't help but admire their audacity. In a universe of unsolvable problems, sometimes it took a little Earth ingenuity and a lot of hot sauce to save the day. Thank you so much for listening to this story. I hope you loved it. Please remember to subscribe if you did like it so you can see more videos like this. And please give us a like and a comment too. I'll see you in the next one.